Hi guys, how's it going? First of all, I apologise for my voice. I have got a bit of a cold and it seems to be sticking around, so at this point in time I'm like, I just need to film these videos, and you're gonna have to just deal with my very low, very deep voice. Welcome back to the Kitaholic Kits YouTube channel. I am doing a project life layout today, and this is my first project of the month, and I am doing week 33 in my project life. I've been playing catch up and I'm really proud of myself. I've done like maybe 20 project life spreads in 2 or 3 weeks. I'm very, very happy with that. And this particular layout, all the photos, kind of stumped me because I didn't have any products that had the right colors that kind of matched my photos, and then I got the kit and it was perfect. On the opposite page, which will be an exclusive, there is a bit more red, which is kind of where I got stuck. I didn't have many greens and reds that weren't Christmassy related. So I'm very, very happy with this kit, and as always, it's incredible, and I am feeling like I'm going to put this together very quickly. My plan is to use basically these little sprinkly bits, the confetti, and glue them along the page to kind of add a bit of sparkle. But mainly I'm just going to use the sticker sheet and the chipboard sheet. So I'm just going to jump right in and show you how this week came together. And I'm back, and my voice is normal again. I should say, first of all, I didn't end up using those sequins as sprinkly bits around this layout just because as you'll see, I started layering all of these beautiful tags and colours from the kit, and I just thought that might have been a bit much. Starting off though, I took that Heidi Swap Alpha, which we got in a kit maybe last year or the year before, a long time ago, but I love it and I thought it would be perfect to use that because you can colour them and you can make them any colour you want. So I used an ink to make them a light colour blue, a dark colour blue, and I am going to add that to that little grey box, which you can see in the title there. I am stamping out week, and then I really liked that particular card for the title card just because there was enough larger little boxes to add things into, but also to create a bit of layering and all of that. So I thought that was really fun. If you ever do use those Heidi Swap chipboard alphas, I do recommend using glue because they're not the stickiest. But anyway, so I'm adding my my 33 because I wanted to wait till they were quite dry. And so I'm adding that here now. And then I'm going to do very little else to this card. I add my dates on those top lines there. I sort of misjudged how thick those lines are, and I thought that my date stamp would sort of fit inside of it. It doesn't really, but at the end of the day, it's not the most important part of the layout, so I don't mind that you can't really see it too well. If you really want it to look closely, you can figure it out what dates they are. So I'm adding my dates, and then what I have been doing is if I see a little sticker like that arrow one, I like doing a little dashed border around the sticker. I've been watching a lot of Leilani Scraps, and she does this a lot to just make a element or a photo or something pop a little bit, just having like a little dotty dashed border around it, and it really does make a big difference. So you can't really see it on camera, but I feel like as I was doing it, I thought it made quite a large difference. I will also be doing the same down the bottom there. Now, in terms of this layout, I often edit my layouts down a fair bit, and what I decided to do this time is not do that, so you can kind of see the whole process of me umming and ahhing and thinking and going back and forth, because I feel like sometimes when you watch these videos, you think that it should come together really quickly, and it doesn't necessarily do that. So that's why I've decided not to edit this too much. Now, obviously, I had to edit a little bit because I'm very indecisive, so I didn't want to bore everyone by just sitting here. Adding that little starburst sticker, and I'm going to do that little same dotty border around it. And then this card is going to be done, and I'm going to move on to the rest of my layout. And yeah, I just really like how that particular card looks, and because it's got all of the colours from the entire collection, it is just an automatic match. So
in this particular card, it was a day that we had hail, and my mother-in-law took this photo, and they've got this shed in their backyard that's got these huge black doors. And I love that photo, but I really don't like that big solid group of black. So I decided I'm going to, instead of cutting that down into a 3x4 card, which was also an option, I didn't want to cut out all of that hail that's there on the floor. So I am taking this tag from the cut apart sheet, and I'm going to layer it from one of those little stickers that come from the sticker sheet. And I feel like this layering, and with the twine that I put in there as well, it kind of just breaks up that solid black a little bit, which is really what I was going for. I'm also going to add a little circle chipboard sticker, and this becomes a bit of a repeated element throughout my entire layout. As you will see, I will tend to layer a main element with a background element. On top of that, I will add a chipboard circle. So yeah, didn't feel like I needed to do much with that today's stories and adventures card, but I did want to add just something to make it interesting. So that is what I did there. This card down the bottom, it's a story about how I started a new role in my job, and I didn't need to do much journaling, but I thought that making it up as I go is quite funny, because my new job is in marketing and social media, which is something that I've never really done before professionally. I do it more as a hobby, so I was like, yep, just going to have to wing it a little bit, which I love. But yeah, so I'm sort of doing the same thing on that label as what I did before. I have the label there. I've got that phrase sticker that says the best place to chill, because we've got a couch in our office where I do a lot of my work from. And then I'm going to add a chipboard circle as well. And yeah, like I said, I'm repeating basically that formula a few times on this layout, and also on the layout which will go next to this one in my actual album. That one is an exclusive for the Kitaholic Kits subbies, so they will see that this month in the exclusive Facebook group. If you are a subscriber to Kitaholic Kits and you are not in that group, make sure to go and check that out. On this card, I'm taking that little circle label, and I find that they're too small for me to do any journaling in. So I usually like to put like a number or a stamp in there. And in this instance, I'm using it as a background layering piece for that red, loving this chipboard circle. That card is done, and I'm moving on to decorating that sort of grid pattern card that's there on the right. Again, I cut out that little label from the cut apart sheet, and I'm going to layer that with a journaling card. And because I added the red and white twine on the bottom left-hand card, I am repeating that on the top right-hand card, the one that I'm working on now. Now, before I put that down, I realized that it clashed with the background a little bit. So all I'm doing is I am sticking this little cluster onto some vellum, and I am just cutting out a slight border so it stands up off that card a little bit, as you can see there. On camera, it doesn't actually look that different, but in person, it definitely made like a big difference, which was a relief. So I'm going to finish that card by layering a just that loving this section, and I'm going to use my stapler to add a textural element and to staple that in. Also adding that dashed border that I have been so crazy about in this particular layout, and then that card is going to be done once the journaling is done. Now, I very rudely just decided to end this video without waving goodbye or showing you the final layout. So basically, as soon as my journaling is done, the video will end, and I won't do my normal waving goodbye to you, and I do apologize for that. But you see everything coming together anyway, but usually I give a little bit of a goodbye. This is the end of the layout. You can look at it all. But apparently not this time. So you do have the photos at the end. I wanted to add something to this particular photo, but I didn't want to cover up all of that hail that we had, because getting hail in Perth where I live is like a big deal. The last time we got hail before this was maybe in like 2009. So it was very, very exciting. And yeah, I did the same thing where I did the layering with the chipboard circle. And that is going to be done, and I managed to not cover up too much of that snow. One thing I've been loving doing in my project life is lining the journaling cards before I do my journaling, and I feel like it's just been so much neater doing that. So you'll see me do that here, then you'll see me do a teeny tiny little bit of journaling, and then this video will be done. So thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I will see you all again next week for another layout, and I hope you enjoyed seeing how this one came together. Bye.